I'm Marvel. This channel exists to connect gamers with MMOs they'll love. In this video, we take a complete look at The Elder Scrolls Online, a top 5 MMORPG that has come a long way since its rocky launch, during which playing together with friends was nearly impossible and when mud crabs were stronger than God himself. But all of that has changed. You can now play anywhere, anyway, with anyone, regardless of your character's level. Yet, does increased accessibility improve the quality of gameplay? Let's find out. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more MMO content. Play Your Way was the driving philosophy behind One Tamriel, a game-changing update that fundamentally restructured progression in ESO in 2016. Corroborated by Steam reviews and Steam chart, it's obvious that this decision has been well received. In addition, it also removed the once required subscription fee, so not only was the game world more accessible, so was the game. This change enables you to play whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. This tagline is generally accurate. You can wear any armor, wield any weapon, and most skill lines are available to learn. For example, if you want to play a staff-wielding wood elf wearing heavy armor, you have that option. Moreover, there are 31 skill lines to learn, all of which can be mixed and matched to your heart's content, with more available to specific races or classes. In general, from the moment you log in, you can journey anywhere in Tamriel's open world to play with your friends, even if they've been playing ESO since beta. Moreover, to this MMO's credit, this design philosophy is a major win for accessibility, yet the boon can devolve into a bane. In fact, ESO's perpetual opaque dualism between convention and innovation is felt in many of its systems. Some gamers are tolerant of this incessant push and pull, whereas others struggle to answer the question whether ESO is an online Elder Scrolls game or a MMO wearing an Elder Scrolls mask. What do I mean? Level scaling enables you to play any open world content in any order independent from your character's actual level, since all overworld content is arbitrarily scaled up to ESO's maximum level of 50. Want to play in Craglorn? Want an in-game group-based zone at level 1? You can. Want to play the newest expansion chapter from level 1? You can do that too. Unlike Guild Wars 2, in which you're downscaled to the level of the zone, ESO treats all mobs and characters as if they are level 50. This is a double-edged sword, because the first mob you encounter will stay comparatively as difficult throughout your leveling experience. If you played Oblivion, you know what I'm talking about. In other words, terms like newbie or in-game zones aren't conceptually relevant in ESO. To be fair, unlike in WoW, whose level scaling tech can make you feel weaker as you progress, ESO does preserve the power curve better. So as you level, learn skills, and equip better gear, you will notice an impact, but it can feel marginal. Regardless, since levels cannot restrict where you play, what type of overworld content can you enjoy? Overworld content includes shared playable areas not restricted to instances. There are 39 massive zones to enjoy, ranging from a mechanized city to an inverted nightmare, forsaken wilds, volcanic mushrooms, noxious swamps, sprawling undercity caverns, infernal hellscapes, and luscious valleys. ESO is beautiful and awe-inspiring. If there is a biome you wish to explore, you'll find it in this sprawling MMORPG. Yet there is more to the topography and ecology of the zones themselves. Somewhat similar to Guild Wars 2's meta events, each zone is associated with a different area-wide group-based PvE mechanic. For example, even available in vanilla zones, dolmens are specific regions of each map, in which an other planar anchor binds the two locations together. Periodically, Tamriel is assaulted and the foes need to be driven out. While the difficulty of these can be rather trivial depending on the degree of support you receive, the visual and audio design is top-notch. The sky changes, the otherworldly change descend from their host, and like a dropship depositing troops from Destiny 2, it's up to you and your fellow adventurers to drive them out. Of course, for your efforts, you'll be rewarded. Available only in Somerset Isle, these group-based open-world encounters challenge players to defeat waves of enemies to earn special rewards. Scaling to the strength of participating characters, geysers will empower the final boss based on the speed at which his minions were defeated. Elsewhere's dragon fights are effectively world bosses with multiple stages and arenas that functionally serve as public raids. Each one is attuned to a different element that impacts the tactics of the fight. If you encounter an ice dragon, frozen golems and cold-based spells will fill your screen, whereas the iron dragon is tankier and more comfortable in melee. They are exceptionally difficult and typically need many contributors to be successful. Oblivion portals are micro-dungeons that once entered must be completed in order to exit. Similar to geysers in that you work your way through more difficult battles, you eventually confront a dangerous demonic foe for rewards and a portal for safe passage. But there's even more. Most zones contain microzones, suitable for either solo players or groups still within the shared world concept. For example, delves are public dungeons that are suitable to explore if you're adventuring alone. They're always worth doing at least once, partially because they usually contain a sky shard, a progression item we'll cover later, a mini-boss, and typically are associated with a quest. Moreover, similar to Guild Wars 2's weekly zone bonuses, The Elder Scrolls Online offers repeatable daily quests that rewards your ongoing interest in an area even after you've completed all other content within. The other type is designed for small groups and possess similar utility, yet balanced for more players with even greater rewards. If you've played World of Warcraft, these are immediately familiar. They're instanced and designed for a group. More are released in each DLC and are a primary way to develop your character. They come in various difficulties to test your ability and build, although easier versions tend to be little different than running through a playground designed for 3-year-olds, yet declaring yourself victor by effortlessly pushing them over. For a detailed review of various dungeon mechanics, consider watching Xenode's Erudite playlist. Regardless, after completing one, you're rewarded for your efforts. Yet these rewards are often contextualized through victory in combat, perhaps one of ESO's most controversial features. Combat is conspicuously divisive amongst Elder Scrolls Online players. On the surface, it appears innovative and tactically meaningful. Like in Star Wars The Old Republic, there are no auto attacks. Moreover, similar to Shrine of the Avatar, instead of attacks only being tied to abilities, you also have attacks tied to your mouse. In particular, in ESO you have a light, heavy, and fully charged attack, each having a tactical use. Most impactful are light and fully charged attacks. The first enables players to weave, an unofficial strategy discussed shortly, and the latter, while exposing the player to being interrupted, also deals much more damage while restoring stamina or magicka, depending on the type of weapon equipped. Also, if you equip a staff, the fully charged attack is a channeled ability instead. Additionally, if a mob is casting or channeling, you can block them by clicking both mouse buttons while being adjacent. Still more, many AoE spells, called synergies, can be interacted with to provide additional combat effects to turn the tide of battle. Additionally, similar to Guild Wars 2's skill system, every player has 2 skill bars containing a total of 12 active skills from lines they've unlocked, although only one hotbar is available at a time. Skills can buff direct damage, damage over time, debuff, and more, and they can evolve through morphing. For example, Frozen Colossus summons a Bone Hulk to pulverize enemies. When it can morph, you can choose between adding additional damage or a stun. Now to weaving. Because ZeniMax allows for liberal animation blending, clever players can stack light attacks and skills together. The gameplay logic does not require that the former's cooldown does not end before the latter can begin. They seem to use 2 separate cooldowns that can be overlapped. Skillful use of this approach can meaningfully increase damage output. This reminds me of a similar tactic in 9 Online, in which the most effective combatants could blend their attacks together. For more information on weaving, watch Deltia's Gaming's helpful video. With that said, the issue is player reception. Some do not want to feel numerically nor socially punished for not learning how to weave. Proponents, however, can be frustrated after a failed dungeon run, because the DPS contributors failed to dish out enough damage, in part because they did not weave. Neither group is right nor wrong here. ZeniMax is between a rock and a hard place, because if they follow Marvel Heroes' route and fundamentally change the pace of combat by implementing a rigid animation system, those keen to use weaving may leave. But if they leave the system as is, the community remains divided. Regardless, combat is often used to advance various storylines through ESO's legendary implementation of quests. In fact, quests are so well done that they're probably ESO's greatest strength. ESO is bar none the de facto leader in the MMO space for immersive quests. For example, every single NPC is professionally voice acted, so you don't have to worry about the post-tortage quality drop like in Age of Conan. While most quests are ultimately linear, some contain puzzles to solve or include challenging boss fights. Moreover, I absolutely love the inclusion of guild quests, and I wish all MMOs had the equivalent of these. In short, some skill lines are unlocked only through progressing through various guilds in Tamriel, which is a hallmark feature of any Elder Scrolls game. Moreover, quests can range from ad hoc micro-stories to macro-level main story epics, whose plotline begins at level 1 and follows your character through content yet to be developed. But an important component of quests are rewards, which include equipment. Thus, how is gear handled in ESO? I think The Elder Scrolls Online handles gear better than any of the top 5 in the MMORPG genre. While not a perfect system, it best blends accessibility with advanced build crafting that other MMOs should seek to imitate. Similar to Albion Online, any character can wear any item. Certain types of armor grant particular skills, and creative players can leverage light armor for tanking or heavy armor for DPS roles. Unexpected trope. Gear comes in a sequentially more powerful array of types that correspond to numerical advantages. However, what is principally unique about ESO's equipment system in context to other MMOs is its set system. Familiar to fans of Diablo 3, in Elder Scrolls Online you can mix and match various sets together to provide a range of various ad hoc effects to your build that can dramatically affect how you tactically approach combat. These sets are earned through dungeons or world bosses, and thus give reasons to players to adventure in both types of content, since their build may be missing one particular set item. Yet, you aren't only limited to acquiring gear through fighting. Another win for ESO is its crafting system. It's easy to understand, flexible, and gives the player agency to craft the type of item, its look, and modifiers accordingly, while falling victim to the same issue present in Destiny 2, in which it's advantageous to hoard the best crafting materials until the endgame, and thus mooting the system for those still leveling up. ESO still provides a vast array of options to those who enjoy making items instead of taking them from fallen foes. Moreover, the MMO cleverly uses its modification system as a basis for its research skill, in which you can extract a mod from an item to learn to put it on another. I love this. If you've ever played Project Gorgon, it's somewhat similar yet more deterministic than transmutation, while being less obtuse than Guild Wars 2's discovery system. So, if you can wear any item and craft them too, what does build crafting look like? Builds in ESO are a combination of your class, skill, gear sets, and champion points, ESO's version of alternate advancement. Let's look at each one in turn. Similar to Guild Wars 2, your choice of class has more impact on the feel of combat than your role. But classes are just the beginning. Each skill line has one ultimate ability, so since you have 2 hotbars, 2 ultimates can be slotted. Moreover, like character levels, skills can level up too, and some can morph at certain intervals, as discussed earlier. Thus, you have a lot of flexibility to custom craft your build to your playstyle. You can also reset your skills for gold, so these choices are not permanent. In order for skills to gain experience, they must be slotted on your hotbar or accompanying item equipped. To level them up, you must invest a skill point. These can be gained in 7 different ways, so no matter how you're playing, you'll likely be earning more. There are dozens of skill lines with an even greater number of abilities, so you can mix and match until you've found your perfect match. But skills aren't everything. The next layer is finding the right set of gear. These are combinations of specific gear that provide additional functionality to your build. If you've played Diablo 3, this system is essentially identical. You can overlay several sets simultaneously. For example, as a tank, you want to keep mobs attacking you, not your teammates. Thus, you could use Dark Convergence that snares, pulls, and then stuns enemies, while layering Scourge Harvester to keep you alive, all while under the effect of the Left-Hander's War Girl that provides a damage shield to your roll. But we aren't done. The last major contributor to a build is the distribution of champion points akin to Paragon in Diablo 3, with some important differences. The champion system is ESO's version of alternate advancement. Simply stated, it enables players to invest points into passive bonuses that align with their playstyle. There are rules for how these are activated, yet what's important here is that these do not add new functionality to your character. They only make you marginally more effective. For example, you can increase the total amount of gold you loot, or make your mount run faster. Champion points, like mastery levels in Guild Wars 2, become your de facto level after 50. Currently, you can earn up to 3,600, yet note that gear maxes out at 160. So once you reach that threshold, you'll be able to wear the very best gear available in ESO. Speaking of great gear, how can you test your setup? Thankfully, ESO has several different competitive environments in which you can evaluate your skill and build against others. Similar to Dark Age of Camelot, Cyrodiil is a realm vs. realm zone that puts 3 factions against one another by setting up siege equipment, conquering forts, and storming castles. If you've ever played Guild Wars 2's World vs. World, you'll be right at home here. For a more detailed look, watch Shimmer's excellent video guide. But what if you wanted a smaller scale experience? Similar to World of Warcraft, you can join groups to compete in PvE arenas called Battlegrounds. But if Battlegrounds are too small scale, yet realm vs. realm feels too macroscopic, PvP within the Imperial City may be right for you. It's a PvE PvP zone that encourages a risk/reward playstyle in which you can loot special currency. However, if you're defeated in combat, your opponent can loot it from your body. But what if PvP isn't your thing, yet you want to test the veracity of your build? ESO offers several aspirational content types just for you. The first is open world arenas, such as the Black Rose Prison or the Dragonstar Arena, that test groups against waves of increasingly difficult mobs. However, there is also a solo arena called the Maelstrom that drops unique weapons only available to obtain there. Still more, there are 48 instant group dungeons, with more being added every DLC that have a normal and a veteran mode for increased rewards and challenges. Trials. ESO's versions of raids are 12-player group content that provide the greatest PvE challenge available in Tamriel. There are 11 to conquer, each with multiple boss fights, and come in a normal and veteran mode. You can earn unique rewards that only drop in these areas, such as special armor sets that can separate your character from the rest. But can you buy your way to victory? The Elder Scrolls Online's payment model is like buying an airplane ticket. You can ride coach or first class. You'll get to the same place, yet your experience may dramatically differ. There's an optional subscription that provides immense value, premium currency, a special bag that contains all of your crafting ingredients, and access to all released DLC. Moreover, like Guild Wars 1, once you purchase the base game, you can play the core zones and the first expansion forever. Moreover, if you purchase the most recent chapter, you'll also get all prior chapters too, unlike Lord of the Rings Online, in which you must purchase many of its content separately. I personally find ESO's item store egregious in that you can buy access to virtual slot machines. Yet, credit where credit's due. You can also use premium currency to unlock DLC, chapters, classes, and other catch-up mechanisms, so you can more quickly access content you want to play. In this way, ESO's payment model is closer to pay-to-skip or pay-to-enhance. Regardless, with nearly 100,000 very positive reviews, ZeniMax is clearly doing something right. There are other features worthy of mention in ESO of which you should be aware. Like in Star Wars The Old Republic, NPC companions have been added that can be customized to facilitate your open world adventures. Moreover, if EverQuest 2 and Black Desert Online had a housing baby, ESO would be their child. You can own a wide range of real estate to decorate to your heart's content. Last yet not least, there's an extensive community who develops and maintains add-ons that extend the functionality of ESO's UI, ranging from combat enhancers to economic tools. This video really touches the surface, so if you're new to ESO, consider watching Josh Strife Hayes' newbie guide. If you want to go deeper, watch Lucky Ghost, Outcast, and Hack the Minotaur for more in-depth material. Let me know your thoughts on ESO in the comments, and thanks for watching.